Welcome to Ownership, the podcast where we have conversations about capital formation in crypto and beyond. I'm your host, 8-Bit Penis, and this is Season 1, Episode 3. And today, I'm joined by Crew from Umbra Privacy. Welcome.
Hey guys, nice to be here. It's always a pleasure being called by this legend to talk about crypto, capital formation, and some spices of privacy as well, I guess.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Crew. I'm very excited for this episode because I'm very passionate about both privacy and MetaDAO, and I think Umbra was definitely up there with one of my top 3 MetaDAO projects.
hmm
It's
What are the other
definitely up.
two? And where do we
Um,
land
I
in the top
think
three?
I don't wanna make it like I don't want to pick favorites too much, but
hmm
definitely for me the favorites are definitely Umbra, Omnipair, and probably Avicii. I think those are
hmm
my 3 top picks. So
hmm
so you guys are definitely there. So let's talk a little bit about the the raise itself,
Right.
because it was so big when it came out. It
hmm
was such a huge. What was the committed amount? It was over $100 million, right? And you guys gave back
Yeah.
most of it, which was
Yeah.
crazy. It was never ever seen before.
hmm
I remember the whole ecosystem cheering you guys on for that. So I
hmm
want to know a little bit more about how was the experience raising through MetaDAO, and how did you even get pilled? Like I'm probably gonna repeat this every episode, this question,
Damn.
but how
Yeah.
how did Prophet, MetaDAO and Futarchy pill you? Because that
hmm
is definitely something that a lot of people want to know about.
Yeah. Uh, Actually, I can start from here where the Futaki pilling began. Um, so I think this was like a month in where we started building out Umbra. It was just me, Pranay, and Cal building before that. And it was, I think, August last year. I was at network school in Malaysia. Um, and this is the time where, like, actually, I've been like talking about Umbra to Abbas since almost a year now, since last February. I just gave him hints that, hey, I'm building something, and watch out, like this is gonna be something really cool. Uh, and I just like just gave him updates, like he's an investor, and I'm someone uh, who's pitching him an idea. Uh, like these conversations went until like August, where he told me that, hey, I'm working at MetaDAO as a scout for these projects, and I think Umbra could be a great fit for what Profit is planning. Um, so this is the only conversation I ever had with Profit, and that conversation went for like 2 hours, I think, where I'm pitching him Umbra and Profit is pitching me the idea of raising on MetaDAO and what Futaki is. Um, uh, I I was well. We were trying to raise the traditional route through VCs, but there was just something that said, "Hey, there can be a better way to do this, and you should wait it out." Um, and this like 2 hour long call with Profit just like cleared the idea for me. Uh, Ever since day one at Umbra, like we had some strong values, and we wanted to stick to it. It's like we are a crypto first company, and we want to do something unique. Uh, Also bring like privacy in the right light, bring Solana and crypto in the right light. And I think MetaDAO is the absolutely uh, cleanest way to do an ICO.
So did you ever have doubts about doing a token? Because a lot of people do. A lot of people have doubts. Like I've heard
Hmm.
founders say that they don't want to do tokens because,
Hmm.
and the criticism is pretty fair. I mean, having a liquid token day one, it comes with a lot of
Hmm.
stress and
Hmm.
angry holders, people wanting to pump it
Hmm.
all the time. Did you ever have about doing a liquid token?
Yeah. For me, I didn't know any better, right? Like I have never experienced building without a token. I've never experienced building with a token before the Umbra raise, of course. So everything was like learning from experiences for me. Like people did message me about having a token, uh, but that's just one side of the story, right? I've, I mean, I've never heard, uh, I've always heard like people having problems with VCs too. So where do I go from now? And that was just going with the gut feeling that hey, we're gonna have a token, uh, and it's gonna be an uphill climb after this. Like people won't be easy with us. There will be folks who are gonna be shouting racist comments at us. There will be uh, like degens who would be issuing death threats, whatever it is, right? Like why is the price dropping when Bitcoin is going up, or whatever the reasons are. Um, uh, Frankly, I care about the token. It's um, it's like having another baby alongside having Umbra. Um, Initially, once we had the token live, and while things were, you know, seeming that it's a down only chart, like of course we had a conversation, we had sleepless nights because of it. But again, we took this risk knowing that all of this is going to happen, and my job is not to complain about it. My job is to um, find a way out of it, give a better product to the people, and I guess we've lived up to that mark and up to those promises until now.
Yeah, you got to maximize shareholder value at all at
Yep,
all times. That
100%.
that's always the goal. Um, so were you ever when you were first pitched MetaDAO and
Hmm.
Futarchy, did
Hmm.
Futarchy make sense in governance? Did you have any doubts about basically anonymous people, people you don't know, having
Hmm.
controls over the money that you raised? Not too long ago, I talked to Raka, and I
Hmm.
think he put it very nicely where he said, you're asking money from these people, and so they probably have the right to ask for their money back, because
Hmm.
it is their money that funded your project. How do you
Hmm.
feel about that?
I think Raka is absolutely right about it. However, there is a um, certain barrier that's broken once you are investing through an ICO, and it's gonna an ICO of this sorts where it's retail markets who are participating in it. Uh, is that most of them are here for a quick buck, uh, and their habits and their behavior usually puts more stress on those teams, on those founders who are raising through MetaDAO. Uh, but I think what MetaDAO has done is more than enough for uh, founder safety and treasury safety uh, for at least a certain amount of time. Um, with all these measures in place, I think so I'm in a comfortable space. Um, uh, so this is like a two-way conversation, right? Like they are taking a bet on me with their money, and I'm putting faith in them to believe in the team to ship and deliver the product and make it increase their value. So it's a promise shown in both directions, and I think it's completely fair for them to ask their money back. I would have zero complaints. My job would be to just be completely honest, work more, work better, and make Umbra better. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard to do it right in crypto because people,
Yeah.
they're very short-minded. So it,
Mm-hmm.
it ends up being, I think a lot of founders feel pressured because of
Mm-hmm.
this, and
Mm-hmm.
and to maybe make promises that they cannot hold up, and maybe promise deadlines that they can't hold up, and so it
Mm-hmm.
feeds this vicious cycle. How do
Yeah.
you think, like, I'm not sure what we can do about it. Is this a retail problem? Is
Mm-hmm.
this a communication problem that we have?
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you at Umbra
Mm-hmm.
maximize this? I think I saw ownership.umbraprivacy.com.
Yeah.
Is that the domain? Yeah, I thought that was a
Yeah.
very good initiative. I think that was awesome. I really love seeing that. I want to see more tokens adopt this ownership framework or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I don't know how to exactly call it, but to
Mm-hmm.
have like a hub for all the holders
Mm-hmm.
where projects
Yeah.
detail
I uh
listings.
I think um yeah, right. Like you said, it's the industry problem, right? Right. Like people are here for a quick buck, and once they leave, like the charts are just down only. Um, Also, I feel it's a communication problem because um, I see most of the teams just raising an insane amount and not communicating uh, what they are building or at what stage they are. At Umbra, of course, we have missed on out on a couple of timelines that we had promised. Um, but I made sure that one, we are completely transparent uh, at what happens if we fail those timelines. And B, what are the plans after we failed these timelines, right? And I think so. Communication, in fact, proper communication could solve majority of these problems. Um, Apart from this, I think uh, teams should genuinely do a roadshow of sorts. Yeah, I think teams should actually do a roadshow of some sorts before um, raising funds on MetaDAO. I think this roadshow is something that we did as well. Like I said, like VC funds knew about us before we decided to raise on MetaDAO, and that kind of raised or built this belief in this team. And majority of our investors were like whales or uh, formidable VC teams that invested, and which also who also understand that if hey like this is a unique problem that they are solving, and if they are going to miss a certain deadline, that doesn't mean it's the end all and be all for a project. They may be late by a couple of months, a couple of weeks, but it's okay. You have to be patient with the money that you invested, and glad that we are delivering right now. So
Do you think this MetaDAO way of raising money is compatible with venture capital? I think we often, as an industry,
mm-hmm,
try to say that VCs are bad. Okay,
mm-hmm,
maybe not as an industry, but a lot of people try to say that
mm-hmm,
the venture
mm-hmm,
capital is not good because they will just dump on you when when in
mm-hmm.
fact we can see that retail will do the exact same thing. So
Exactly.
do you think that it's compatible?
And sometimes retail is even worse. Okay, with VCs, at least you can have a direct communication since they have invested in you. But with retail, are you gonna call like 80,000 people and explain the situation to them? I guess not. Um, I don't think so. VCs are bad. I think they are absolutely amazing. However, I feel the most ideal solution. This is something that I think Abbas and I spent quite some time talking about after our raise. Like this would be pretty cool that MetaDAO could offer uh, uh, certain VC teams to back a project like an XYZ project, which is backed by, let's say, Coinbase Ventures, and these teams could actively raise on MetaDAO, uh, showing the people some faith that, hey, Coinbase Ventures backs this, and
Do you mean that? Do you mean that in a way where they have, like, let's just say Coinbase Ventures has their own bucket of investment that goes into
yes,
the public ICO,
yes,
and
yes,
so some of the allocation goes to them, basically.
yes. Because
Okay, that's
not
interesting.
allocation, yeah, of course, the allocation goes to them. But this would also mean that, there is honesty maintained by all the three parties here. The team and the founders, the VCs, which is Coinbase, and the retail markets. All of them are working simultaneously to maintain this level of trust. Because at the end, uh, at MetaDAO, like the thought is that you vote on your values and then you bet on your beliefs, right? Uh, like this is a certain, um, how can I explain it? It's like a distinct human limitation, right? Like we are generally good at deciding at what values or goals that we have, such as maximizing the DAO's wealth or the shareholder value. But we are notoriously bad at like knowing how to get there. Um, and this is the only way that I assume that all the three parties could work uh, cohesively.
Um, I also, to be honest, I see VCs, or at least some VCs, um, maybe being afraid of backing these futarchy launched ICOs because of the futarchy aspect and because of the fact that it can be liquidated anytime, or buybacks can happen anytime. Do you see that as a threat, or
Mm, um,
how do we con
I think.
I mean, I think the question is like, how do you view those things? And if you
Mhm,
have any views on that anyways, and how do we get the big VCs attention to
mhm.
invest here? Because I don't think it's just a problem of we don't have a this bucket of allocation for them, but I'm not sure that they would be interested.
Hmm. Um, Having a bucket of tokens uh, does not mean that the VC would have like a free hand at their allocation, right? Like they would still be under the same stress as a team and have their unlocks at the same time. So, of course, like I feel like VCs would be in uh, a deep, not deep troubles, but like they would have to work even harder and work harder at their due diligence. Like with crypto VCs, you might have seen this problem where like the most random teams would get funded and then it's a rug after like 6 months and nobody knows whether the capital was wasted. But here, at least there is just efficient use of capital, even if VCs are coming in. VCs have the right to get the money back as well through all of this. So it's a win-win for both the VCs, the retail, and of course, it's here the third party is the team who has to level up and showcase their talent.
Does it not make you move slower though? With like, doesn't Futarchy add some sort of friction? I mean, we're talking about governance here, so you guys had an audit a couple
Hmm.
months back, and so that had to
Hmm.
go through Futarchy.
Hmm.
One criticism is that simply Futarchy is not feasible, and these governance models are not feasible because you're moving too slow and you're slowing the founders down. Do you experience this slowing down with this system, or do you think maybe it gives you an edge because you were able to be you were able to raise so much so quick?
Hmm.
Where's the balance there, you know?
I think it's a give and take, right? There is in no way, shape, or form that a team like us would have been able to raise. Well, $3 million in 4 days. Okay, I would say that we could have raised more. Uh, we could have taken way more funds from the 155 that we raised. Uh, but this is a team which has first time. This is a first time founder, and in no way, shape, or form we could have done this without MetaDAO. Right? This is what you've taken. Now, what you give is um, some decision making time. Here, we had this initial, proposal for the audit, which took some time, which took some understanding on how MetaDAO works and how team-based proposals would work. Uh, we 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 had certain problems understanding it. Why do we need to stake the Umbra tokens to get a proposal live? But all in all, right, like this is absolutely necessary. If you are uh, trying to be transparent, uh, this is the best way to do it. If you're transparent, it's going to take away some speed of execution, uh, but then it gives you another gift, right? So it's a give and take, and teams who are raising through MetaDAO should absolutely be okay with it. However, there have been like certain improvements with the optimistic proposals as well, for which it was really easy for us to um, put up a proposal the second time for an audit and get it passed as well. So kudos to the MetaDAO team for doing it.
Yeah, I also agree that these new changes are very good, and I think
Hmm.
it's just gonna get better over time. And also the teams raising here will have to understand how to do things and how futarchy works, because I think if you're raising there, you have to have a good understanding of, okay, these are the kinds of proposals that we can do, and
Hmm.
understand why it may fail or might succeed.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
a question just popped into my head, and I think this is an interesting one. Um, with all the insider trading talk going on in the timeline,
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, I was thinking, do we think, or do I think, and do you think that these futarchy proposals should be traded by the team? So should the team trade these proposals, do you think?
I think the teams should trade these proposals, but from their own capital and not
Yeah,
from the
that's
capital, from the
yeah,
treasury. Uh,
yeah, exactly.
yeah,
That's what I mean is
uh,
with your
yeah,
own capital.
absolutely, absolutely, they should trade the proposal, do not trade the token. I'd say. Um, for us, we have like a strict policy which does not allow any of the team members to buy a token 15 days before or after an event. Um, like there are certain legal conditions that we have implemented to avoid any of the team members insider trade. Um, now, along with this, like we have implemented quite a few things, or are in the process of implementing quite a few things, which brings me to ownership. So this is an extra step taken by us to maintain complete transparency. Uh, we are actively working with the Resolved team uh, to build a platform which tracks each and every transaction that is done through the Treasury wallet. Now, this includes having our salaries be public, have all our treasury transactions be public. It could be a payment to auditor or our lawyers or anyone. Um, everything goes will be completely transparent to folks who want to check it out and audit us. It also tracks the Umbra revenue, top line, bottom line. Uh, what is the unit cost of every transaction? Even that will be mentioned on it. This just communicates that, hey, we, of course, we are a crypto focused company, but we are public at the same time. Also, this is just our effort to be to bring like, this industry in the right light and not have my uncle, talk to me the next time he sees me that, hey, Crypto is just full of scams. Like this is a business being run on crypto.
On the topic of transparency, I think this is a good place to segue a little bit into Umbra.
Hmm.
I want to explore why Umbra, how you found this whole privacy thing, and what was the reason that you really. When did you get
Hmm.
privacy pilled? What was the reason for that? Did you have some real life experience, or
Yeah.
was it some YouTube video? Because I was looking up some of your tweets,
Hmm.
and I saw. I think I saw you tweeted about some YouTube video where a bunch of people got kidnapped, and I know that Umbra has been also featuring these wrench attacks in some of your
Yeah.
trailers. So
Hmm.
what was the inspiration behind the whole privacy thing, and then why this beautiful interface? Like how did that come to mind?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good story. Like there are three reasons actually. The first one is uh, me getting a significant amount of airdrop and just starting to be lazy with life. I think um, post December 2024, I think I was in a state where I just felt like there's nothing else left to do in this industry for me. Maybe I should just retire, do nothing. To which my close friend Arihant, he just bullied me into uh, saying that I'm not good enough and your contributions to this industry aren't over, and that you should find something to do in life. Um, this just began uh, was just a start of me kind of thinking that hey, I've been in this industry for like 4 years now, 4.5 years. I've started from the bare bottom. I worked as a BD, I worked as a designer, I worked in marketing for some time. Um, uh, Never had like a super tech focused role, but I think I was capable enough to take on this role as a founder. Um, and that's where like ideas started to come out. Uh, then I just got privacy pilled by Million from Archeon, right? Million and Arihant, both of them just privacy pilled me. Reading those articles by Million were just uh, it like even before the quote that privacy is the last 1,000x remaining in crypto. Like I had this feeling that hey, if I build something, it won't be a fork of an existing product, just another trading terminal or just another decentralized exchange or a perplex. It has to be something really unique, and privacy was the only theme that was fitting in. And the third thing was, of course, my my group chat that I trade with my friends on. Um, of course, there are some trading calls here and there by me or my friends there. But suddenly one day I just got a call from one of my friends that, hey, why are you buying fart coin at 2 a.m. at night? Do you have some insider, information that we don't know about? And that's the very second that it hit me that, hey, like these are just my friends who are, like spying on me. It's like that my wallet is almost like a reality TV show at this point. And this is
So,
not done. Like if
so
I'm not
your friends
yeah,
saw
my
you buying
friends
fart coin.
at 2 a.m. at night, and I got a call from one of them. So I was like, hey, if I'm not happy with it, imagine like the next billion people who come over to crypto and get spied by whoever it could be, like some random degen in one random corner of the world, right? um and that's how I just decided, hey, privacy uh, is the theme that I'm gonna be working on. So yeah, I decided that it's gonna be. I put money where my mouth is. Made my first angel investment in Archeum, and instead of just being a passive investor, I just wanted to do something using Archeum. Um, that's when all the conversation started. It was, I think, April last year, where I called up Million and Aryanth and gave them this entire architecture that we I had in my mind, and the idea of Umbra. And here we are after that. Like the earlier version of Umbra was just like really dark and brutal, just like every other wallet or every other protocol that you see. It's a dark background and a purple gradient, and we call it a day after that. Uh, but uh, I kind of wanted Umbra to be a reflection of myself. Um, I'm almost never in a bad mood. Uh, I'm always happy. I'm always laughing. I'm like I don't show anger very much. The only time I'm angry with myself, and when I don't meet my deadlines or anything like it. Um, but most of the times I'm happy. So that's how the idea of like a brighter color, a smiley face, balloons, and all those themes came in.
I can definitely attest to you being super chill. I mean, after meeting you at Breakpoint, I mean,
Yeah,
your aura is crazy. Your
yeah,
aura is crazy. But
yeah.
I think
Thank you so much, by the way, for saying that.
yeah. So did you try any other privacy tools or privacy stuff before Archeum or like during your time to research Umbra? Because
Hmm.
whenever I use these privacy apps, it could be in Solana, whatever, all of them have these really cumbersome user experiences where you have to
Hmm.
deposit, wait, and then I have to sign 3 transactions,
Hmm.
and I have to, you know, keep a really good OPSEC to even
Yeah.
properly take advantage of it. So,
Hmm.
did you try any of that, and how does Archeum fix this? I think that's also something that
Yeah.
people want to know is how does Archeum fix this? Is this fully private? You
Hmm.
have shielded transactions. How does it differ from Zcash? This is
Hmm.
kind of a loaded
Right.
question, but or like a lot of
Oh yeah.
questions here, but yeah.
Yeah. First of all, I'm not the right person to give a technical answer to this, but of course, I'm going to try my best. But this is how I usually think about um, bringing things to the next level or just improvising on something, right? Like um, I've I used Zashi before and Zcash, of course. I've never used any other um, um, project that does privacy. But Zashi and Zcash were the only thing that I use, and I'm a huge fan of what these guys have done. Um, but I always felt that okay, this is the generic user flow that a user who's going to be using Zashi is going to follow. Uh, what I did was just note down the problems that I and like my teammates felt. We went back to the drawing board, discussed ideas amongst ourselves, and of course with the Akim team, and that is like MPC the only solution uh, that can solve this problem. Now there are certain UX problems with not with like Zashi particularly, but something like Tornado Cash where there's this UX tax that you have to pay, right? Like you can only send in transactions worth a certain denomination, like 10, 100,000 or something like it. If you have anything in decimals, like 10.5 or something like it, that wouldn't go through. Like that's the tax that you're paying. That was one of the biggest issues that we wanted to solve. That any denomination could be transferred through Umbra. The second was speed and the time that's taken. Well, uh, things like Houdini Swap or any other competitor we had, uh, they were routing just transactions through centralized exchanges, and most of these transactions took anywhere around 30 minutes to go through. Um, Plus, they were expensive as hell. So these are like basic list of problems that we had in our mind, and it wasn't right the very first time that we built it. By the way, like I could safely, securely say that, and confidently say that this is like the fifth or the sixth iteration of Umbra that you guys are seeing right now. And it took some pain to reach at this stage. Uh, um, but yeah, this was has always my approach. Like, note a few things down. You see the clutter, reduce as much as you can, and then create something new out of it. And this wouldn't have been possible without like the amazing engineers that I have at Umbra. Like Cal is just super talented, uh, and I've seen him grow. Like back in like August last year, he was just writing a smart contract on Solana for the first time, and now he can just do anything and everything that he wants on Solana. Right? Absolutely talented. Plus, the support from Archeum was like it's almost having like $1 billion company supporting 5 kids to build something really cool. Um, and that's what we got, by the way. Like open communication with the engineering team, support with the marketing whenever we wanted, and it absolutely helped me to become a better founder as well. So all of this combined gave or like put us in a position that where we are right now.
And how did like what do you mean by iteration? So how does the iteration process go? Do you like do you see it and you're like this is
Hmm.
not good, or did it
Hmm.
and how much time did it take? Did one iteration take like a month or
Sometimes more than a month. And by iterations, I mean just looking at the architecture and seeing what's possible. Like the first architecture that we had weren't composable. Like we wouldn't be able to integrate with any other protocol. It would just be a separate ecosystem on its own. Um, uh, then we had problems with transaction speeds, right? Like each transaction was taking us anywhere around a minute to 3 minutes. Uh, After that, the architecture that we had in December was great, was amazing, but it was just like it wouldn't be possible to have it on an app, a mobile app, and be run on an Android phone of the you know uh, lowest spec. But now you can run like Umbra on a mobile app, have the same transaction speeds and the same performance. Like all of this took a long, long time. Uh, like these iterations went anywhere from like a month to 3 months. Sometimes even we would get done in like 15 days. Um, but yeah, uh, this is how it worked.
yeah, I tried Umbra today for the first time, and it
Uh-huh.
was really, I mean, it was such an amazing experience. I mean, seeing it live for
Mm-hmm.
real, not just
Mm-hmm.
from screenshots. I was really shocked at the design and just the thought that went into everything, to every little
Mm-hmm.
detail, to every just the colors, the placement of everything. It feels like you guys had everything in mind. So so it's very
Mm-hmm.
interesting to hear that you had to go through that many iterations to
Mm-hmm.
arrive at this. But it also makes sense that to get a polished product, you have to go through
Mm-hmm.
phases.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I'm really glad that we kind of did these iterations, right? Like uh, there's this code that you get to iterate 1,000 times, but you only get to launch once. And when we launch, we just want to be absolutely industry standard. Like we don't want to go back and iterate more at this scale where the architecture is completely different. Of course, now these iterations would be at a longer duration, like not a month, but like 6 months, 8 months of experimentation with our architecture. Uh, but this is the backend that we're going to have for a long, long time. Now the iterations would be in terms of the products that we build, right? Like Umbra Wallet is good. It's not the best. We want to make it the best, and that's going to come with a lot of product iterations. It's going to come from a lot of user feedback. It's going to come from like talking to more investors, talking to more VCs who have a better idea of the space. And that's how it's going to go for the next couple of months from here.
Is it are other protocols going to be able to
Yeah.
integrate Umbra? Is it going to be? I know it has. So Umbra has a public and a private mode. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
correct me if I'm wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
it has a public and a private mode. The
Mm-hmm.
public mode is basically it's literally just a wallet, right? It works the
Yeah.
same way as every other wallet. You can connect it to dApps, and you can do whatever you want. And the private
Mm-hmm.
mode, that's I think the more interesting part comes where how do you achieve privacy on with and integrations and composability with all these with
It's
Camino
magic.
or Jupyter.
It's magic. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Um, um, so yeah, with the Umbra wallet, we have both of these, public and private mode. Like uh, the good thing is that it having Umbra wallet does not mean all the other wallets have to lose. It's not a zero sum game. If you have an account on Phantom or Soulflare, you can just connect your existing wallet on Umbra and use it to have some privacy on it. And yeah, about the architecture, right? So majority of these privacy protocols follow a single uh, PET, which is a privacy enhancing tech, which is something like ZK, right? Uh, what we do is we blend two architectures. One is multi-party computation, which is through Archeum, and the use of ZK. So MPC is used for all the confidential computations that are going on to have these addition and subtraction uh, like operations on the app, which is like transfer of balances, while ZK is used to produce the proof of these transactions happening and maintaining the balances in the entire pool. So ZK is slightly slower. So this is the reason why, like, alternatives of Umbra take like 30 minutes for a certain transfer to happen, while we take like 3 seconds, while being completely verifiable, completely on chain, uh, and yeah, completely composable as well.
And so is can any asset be private on Umbra? Or do you guys have a
Any asset.
filter
So
rule or something like that?
yeah, so what we got to do is just initialize those pools. As of now, since we are in a private mainnet of some sorts, these pools are permissioned. We are just testing out how Umbra is working, like what the performance is. So we have just three pools available as of now, which is USDC, Solana, and Umbra. Um, but in the future, like 3 months down the line, 2 months down the line, all of this will be permissionless, where any and every token could initialize these pools and make them anonymous or confidential, however you want to call it.
I think just to pay homage to your fart coin buys, you should definitely you should definitely make a private fart coin pool as
Yeah,
soon as possible.
like this is where it started, so I'm just gonna fund the fart coin myself, I guess.
Yeah. So I think this also ties into like this whole privacy thing. You also mentioned earlier that with this MetaDAO model and this futarchy and all this, you're gonna
Mhm.
have all your payments public and transparent. How does that? Do you think there's any contradiction with that, or do you think this is the right way? Like, what is the right balance of privacy and transparency? How do we find the balance here? Is it individuals should be private and public companies should be transparent?
Hmm.
What do you think?
Uh, yeah, for I think for being like a founder at Umbra, I think uh, it's completely fair that I sacrifice privacy on my end for the benefit of this entire world. Uh, 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 like I think privacy is something which is really which is a core human value. I would say, like bathrooms still have doors. Like your homes still have a door and a window and a curtain that hides you from the public world. This is like a space where you are yourself and you're not trying to uh, follow the world's norms. Um, and I think uh, it just creates a room for safety, for comfort, and that's where privacy is really important. I think uh, talking about what it adds to this ecosystem, to our industry, is that this is a real life uh, like a real life implementation of how uh, like money moves across the world. Of course, it's like not all these transactions that you do in your daily life. It's like it could be a bank transfer or it could be paying at your local shop. This isn't public, right? Nobody knows that you have a dead Spotify subscription that you're paying for since the last 2 years. That data is confined to you and the party that you're paying to. And this is what privacy brings to the table. Like majority of the transactions in the next 5-10 years will be done on Solana, and you don't want them to be public. Uh, be it retail users, be it individuals, be it whales, or be it institutions. Um, uh, Everyone needs privacy.
One of the criticisms that I often see from people, which obviously I don't
Hmm.
agree with,
Hmm.
um, but sometimes it's hard to get a proper rebuttal because it's such a complex topic. Um,
Hmm.
I see, however, that privacy is starting to go mainstream.
Hmm.
I don't know. There was the Tucker Carlson interview with the Archeum uh,
Yeah,
CEO.
Yannick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yannick. Yeah, yeah. Which I thought was pretty awesome. That we're finally trying to get all the people involved and get the public to finally
Hmm.
participate in privacy and demand that we have these private protocols. And but I still see some people pushing back on this and say, well, only criminals need privacy. Why would you need privacy? What do you say to these people? Because I honestly I don't know. It's such a hard question to answer because it's so complex that I feel
Hmm.
like there should be some one liner or like an article that I can point them to.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think what we can do is do some role play here, okay? I'm gonna ask you a few questions, and maybe you can answer them. All right. Uh, Imagine yourself um, as a CEO of a $1 billion company who has like $12 billion in treasury. Okay. Now you decide that some of the treasury has to be used into buying something like Solana. All right. Uh, Now you make those transactions, and everybody in the world, every other institution, every other competitor of yours knows that you bought Solana. What are they going to do? And what's going to happen to you after that?
Well, they can front run you if they
Huh?
if, if they see the transaction, they can follow and
Uh-huh.
they can well if you're the CEO and they can do a classic wrench attack also.
Hmm. Exactly. So here you miss out on physical security, you're missing out on financial, security, you're just leaking your strategy to the entire world. And uh, this is not good. This is no bueno for anyone, including myself. Um, what comes with it is um, compliance, right? When we began Umbra, we made sure that compliance is taken care of very first. And that's where our partners at Groom Lake and Range come in. Um, we want to make sure that this is privacy for the good actors who want to be part of a system, uh, transact on Solana, and do something good, build good businesses, become better traders through it. Um, and I think that's where like this proper merge of privacy and compliance makes sure that there are no bad actors in the system. Of course, we might fail here and there, um, but we're going to do our best to make sure that this happens. Um,
Do you think that
yeah.
compliance and privacy go together? To me, it seems a little bit of a paradox because how do you
Hmm.
um, how do you decide who is a bad actor? I don't know much
Hmm.
about these compliance frameworks or whatever, so
Hmm.
maybe you can enlighten me on how they like probably if I had to
Right.
guess, it's probably terrorists in North Korea and all
Yeah.
these guys. But can I, as an individual, get blacklisted?
Yeah. Like individuals can only be blacklisted if their wallet addresses have interacted with any of these, stolen funds, uh, or these wallet addresses that belong to North Korea um, or any terrorist organization. Uh, every wallet is scanned by range, even if there have been like infinite amount of hops through multiple chains. Each and every dollar is tracked, either by Circle, by Tether, uh, or any OFAC list. If you are using it now, these scans happen at the wallet creation level. These scans do not happen at post that, I'd say. Yeah, like if your wallet has interacted ever before, if your device has interacted ever before, then you would not be allowed to be a part of this network for sure.
I guess another thing that I've been thinking about and it is when it comes to these privacy pools, obviously the more you use it, the more time you deposit into these privacy protocols, the better it becomes, or like the
Hmm.
better your privacy becomes. However,
Hmm.
if I just deposit Sol or USDC into a shielded pool of some sorts,
Hmm.
I'm gonna be missing out on yield and DeFi. So how do you solve that with Umbra? Or can you even solve that?
With Umbra, you're not missing out on yield. You can still earn yield on Umbra, which is anonymous, by the way. Like there is no losing out on the anonymity set if you earn yield on Umbra. Uh, I'll showcase it into uh, what happens in the app after this call. Uh, but again, after this, what our goal is just to have Umbra integrated with majority of the protocols on Solana. Of course, I would love to work with teams like Drift, Camino, so that individuals can participate in these DeFi activities and earn the same yield as anyone else does. The entire goal is to just have privacy by default, where uh, uh, like a year, 2 years down the line, there is a complete like shutdown of the public mode on Umbra. Like the only mode that you use is the private mode, and that's how like every wallet should function.
I think I did see some sort of partnership with Reflect Money. Is that
Oh
um,
yeah, yeah,
still ongoing, or what's up with
yeah,
that?
yeah. That's still ongoing. It's a work in progress. Right now we have USDC Plus available on Umbra. where you can earn the yield that they provide. But this collaboration is here for uh, a white label stable coin, um, and we'll have our very own Umbra stable coin or privacy stable coin after this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think that's low key one of the most exciting things is to earn a yield while staying private
Yeah.
because then you're really not missing out on anything, and that's when you're really utilizing crypto and privacy. So, I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to do that. So you got yield, you got privacy, you got Umbra, but what is next? What can we expect from Umbra in the next 1 year? What's the timeline for you? What are some things that maybe you want to do? Nope, I don't have to, like, I don't want to pressure you on
Hmm.
any hard deadlines, just maybe some ideas on,
Hmm.
and yeah.
Yeah, I think, like I said, uh, we. I'm a huge fan of what the guys at Squads do. Basically, the idea is that they prove themselves with the multi-sig. Then they built out Fuse, the wallet to showcase uh, the 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 benefits of what Squads the multi-sig is. And now they're building out products on their own, which is Altitude and Grid, right? Um, I'm a huge fan of what they do, and I'm a huge fan of what Stepan does. Uh, uh, we wanna like be somewhere in the same lines as what they have, which is, hey, like the underlying tech is solid AF, which is the underlying Umbra tech. Then you have the Umbra wallet that proves that the underlying tech works really well. Then you have the Umbra SDK, which is like an equivalent of grids, and that any and every project who wants to build out like uh, a protocol that's like private by default can use it or integrate privacy into existing project. Uh, and then the last thing that we're working on is like a enterprise version of Umbra that can be used by wallet providers like Privy, Turnkey, or even Squads for that matter, right? To uh, to have like an underlying layer of privacy already built in. So that's our goal for the entire year. Um, of course, Umbra Wallet is going to have active development. The SDK is going to have the active development. Uh, but that's what our goal is. Privacy has the right set of eyes on it. It's not just about Zcash and the token prices. It's about the core human principle, which is privacy, that really matters here. I think this interview by this podcast by Tucker Carlson with Yannick just says everything right. What my goal is, what Hakim goal is, and I think we're on the right path for this entire year. It's just go time for us, and we make sure that whatever we do is um, just like keeps our standards high, and we execute it everything in the right manner.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that. So
Yep.
one last question, and then we're gonna wrap it up, which
Uh-huh.
is for you personally, what do
Hmm.
you wish that you had known when you started this journey? It could be related to MetaDAO, Futarchy, tokens, Umbra. What would
Hmm.
be something that you wish you had known when you started and you wanted to raise money for this product?
Wow, I've never really given this a thought before about what I knew. Um, it's always like I've never kind of looked back and realized things. I always uh, I just do things and see what happens. But mm, I think like the good thing that I've realized is that it's great to have like a good set of co-founders or the initial founding team that you have, the initial set of engineers that are building this out. But it's also amazing to have like a creative uh, person, someone like Abbas or the current team that we have, the marketing team that we have, right? Like as much as I love working on the product, I have equal amounts of fun um, experimenting with these boys, and uh, it's been a fun journey so far. Uh, there were moments where I'm just like freaking out every day. I should have just like calmed myself down, just tell myself that hey, like it's just a bad set of days that you're gonna have. In the longer run, things will be all right. I think this comes with being a first time founder. Um, I think that's it, I guess.
Well, then, I'm going to thank the listeners for tuning in today. I want
Mm,
to thank you again for coming here and sharing your thoughts with us. It was a pleasure and an honor to have you on. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. And thank you to MetaDAO for sponsoring the episode. And see you guys next time.